it's not a disrespectful thing. It's not about trying to take away from something. It's about growing and maturing and understanding ownership is important. You know what I'm saying? And being an artist in the game this long, you
Ho, you still don't own nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just got the rights to re-record your music. That's it. You still don't own nothing. What are you talking about? You still don't own nothing. You just got the right to re-record to make more money for the people who owns your masters.
would think somebody is happy and wants to help you move forward and push your goal forward and the whole family celebrate. You know what I mean? Like for me, that's what makes sense.
Right, because I would applaud you for wanting to get your money and support that. And I feel like he's made a lot of money too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's not like
like
you sign and then the next day, but it's been 20 years.
20 years, bro. Like what?
Seems like it's been a resurgence of Ashanti.
20 years since you sold your soul. 20 represents death, I told you. So what was that the death of? That was the death of her soul. I won't be too surprised if, you know what I'm saying, Ashanti takes her mother out. Being that she's doing this interview on the Breakfast Club, and she got her mother sitting right there with her, and you know what I'm saying, and she's talking about 20 years, and she get the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know what I'm saying, in April, when she, the day that she first, you know what I'm saying, put out her first album, 20 years later. I won't be too surprised if, you know what I'm saying, she takes out her mama.
Last, I would say 5 years.
Yeah.
You feel that?
You know what? I do. I do.
What do you think it's from?
Um God's timing, God's plan. You know, there's been so many things I don't talk about a lot. There've been a lot.
God's timing, God's plan. But yet you didn't do anything for God to wake up your people. So what God's time and God's plan are you talking about? Because see, when the Most High God, you don't say, puts His people and calls His people and put His people in position, His people wakes up His people to understand where we at, which is slavery. America, we in spiritual Egypt, says in the book of Revelations, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Being that we in Egypt, that's, you know what I'm saying? God's people wakes up God's people. You know what I'm saying? God's people don't, you know what I'm saying, don't worry about a master, and don't worry about re-recording music, and don't worry about a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, or don't worry about, you know what I'm saying, signing to the synagogue of Satan. God's people don't worry about none of that. God's people worry about, you know what I'm saying, strictly keeping these commandments, you know what I'm saying, and teaching our people the right way. You know what I'm saying? You ain't God's people because obviously you are all out of order. You're not working in the order of a modest woman. So obviously, so the God that you're talking about is the same goddess, is the same God that your name represents. Semiramis, Nimrod's wife, aka Nimrod's mama. So that's your God. Anyway, let's go ahead.
The things that have happened behind the scenes, you know, it forced me to grow. I do plan on, well, I am working on a documentary that's going to, like, I don't want to use the word expose, but give more of a transparent, deeper look into a lot of things. Because I'm transparent. I talk to y'all, you know, I'm not guarded, but there are just things that people don't know and that I haven't spoken about, you know, in depth and in detail. So, I feel like
And you ain't gonna speak about it. This is just hype just to get your fans, you know what I'm saying, and the people, you know what I'm saying, interested in when you drop the documentary. They will spend their money to watch the documentary, and they will be watching, they will be disappointed because why? Because you ain't told nothing. You ain't told shit. It's the same way with the Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman got everybody all hyped up to think that he was exposed in the industry. And then when you watched his documentary, which he went and got a crowdfunding for, You could have find out that his documentary wasn't even exposing nothing. So he got you the same way Ashanti is going to get you if you go and watch hers.
Those 5 years of me growing, getting my own record label, doing it on my own, understand who's with me and who's not, understanding the tools from the real friends.
There goes get my own record label. You getting your own record label, but you still need a distribution company to push your music. You understand? You can have a record label, but who is distributing for your music? And you best believe nothing is going to get put out in or along the distribution networks unless it goes along with what your distribution company wants to be put out there. So you can say you got your own label all you want. That means nothing. You still gonna push out the old same propagandized BS that the Romans want you to push out to brainwash our people.
A lot of that has come into play, and just having an amazing team. So I guess the resurge has been a lot of work put into focusing on the goal.
Is that out of respect for other people that you feel like you don't tell too much? That you, like you said, there's a lot of things you could say that you don't. So why don't you?
I'm very much on the when they go low, we go high. You know what I mean? I'm just very much on that, and I feel like you get back what you put out there. And again, like when you're unhappy and you're miserable and you're bitter, you try to throw salt at whatever is going if you don't have anything to gain from it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm not on that wave. I'm happy, I'm cool, I'm content, so I don't have a need or a desire to try and hurt somebody or intentional try and make somebody feel salty or away.
Gotcha.
Now, you also have a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Shortly at the top of the year. So what's this movie about?
Well, I'm actually shooting it top of the year in January. I think
I think you were talking about the movie you shot in Toronto.
Oh,
When's that movie coming out?
that came out. Yeah, it's called Honey Girls. It's streaming everywhere.
This one is called The Plus One, I was
Yes,
yeah, okay.
yes. So I'm executive producer, producing that one. Super excited about that. It's like a rom-com. Cedric.
She tells all this stuff coming out. I think she's going to sacrifice her mama. I think she's going to sacrifice her mama. And her mama don't even know it. I think she's going, that's why she's doing all of this, because April is representing number 20 and 20 years, and 20 represents death. I think this hoe is going to sacrifice her mama.
The entertainer plays my dad. I believe Vanessa Williams is playing my mom. And it's basically, I'm getting married and my best friend is a guy. And I'm like, listen, you can invite whoever you want except for your ex, because me and his ex do not rock. And who does he invite?
The ex.
Well, why would you do that? Okay. Exactly. If you're my friend, why would you do that at my wedding? So
I was gonna ask, are you always surprised when some of the younger artists fuck with you so hard, whether it was Tory or the Baby or Moneybagg Yo? Did that ever surprise you? And how did they get in touch with you? Do you answer your DMs?
Yo, Ev, if I were to show you my DMs right now, you would bug out. You would really bug out. Okay, is surprise the word? A little bit of surprise and a little bit of, oh. You know what I'm saying? The respect and the love, for lack of words, the admiration is so dope. When I get into the studio with these guys, and a lot of them come through DM.
Moneybagg Yo, that's how Waukesha happened, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
DMs? Was it your sister or your mom?
No, I answer. I dibble and dabble in the DM a little bit.
Now they know.
Right. But
And I saw SZA interrupt the interview you were doing just to pay you your respect.
yeah, like that was such a beautiful moment. Shout out to SZA, and the fact that she had the picture to back up what she was saying. Basically, she said she stood online for like 10 hours to get an autograph from a book signing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then she put
All right, that's going to wrap that up. You know what I'm saying? Ashanti, I think Ashanti is going to sacrifice her mama. Lord, because they said the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is in April. And that's on the month, it's 20 years from the day that her first album came out. 20 years, 20 represents death. And she's doing this Power 105 Breakfast Club interview. And her mama's sitting right there. I think she's going to sacrifice her mama, people. It's a damn shame. Because she got other movies coming out and all that got to be paid for. So I think she's going to sacrifice her mama. It's a damn shame. But anyway, this is News People. Want to thank you all for tuning in and logging on to another episode of Illuminati News Hour right here on Illuminati Radio. I'm your host. I'm your pastor, Mr. Michael Smith. If you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop this breaking news on you. Don't forget, people, hit that like button as you guys come in here. If you want to donate, the donation link is in the description box below. Till next time, stay tuned. God bless you.